welcome to May's Crochet. I am Rachel, and I have a dark secret, big dark secret to share with you all. We're going to finish my biggest and oldest whip today, I hope. God, I hope. Oh, I really hope. Anyway. Yeah, I like Scream. I like Scream a lot. So I started this Ghostface over 2 years, or about 2 years ago. It was October of 22. And I really need to finish it. He's been sitting on the floor, or she, killer has sometimes been a woman, on the floor over here in the corner. Well, actually, it was in the chair for the longest time. And then I started doing this, and I didn't leave it in the chair. I left it on the floor over here in the corner so people couldn't see it on my videos and be like, what the hell? Because fair. But we're gonna try to speed run finishing it today. I literally just have this sleeve and the hood. And if there's any leftover yarn, I want to do the, the dangly bits of the sleeves and around the bottom of the robe. But that is why I have been putting it off for so long, because I don't know if I'm going to have enough yarn. I'm not sure I'm gonna have enough yarn to finish that. But I'm gonna speed run it, and voiceover Rachel is gonna give you all the backstory. Hopefully it'll be interesting, I don't know. So this is all the yarn I have left. This is, I believe, the Loops and Threads Cozy Blanket. It's a size 7, and one sleeve will take up about one ball of this. Which means I just have this. I think it'll be, it might have this much left over. I can't remember. I haven't worked on this in a year and a half. I got to a stopping point of just having the sleeves and the hood left, and my deadline passed, and I'm like, not for someone, for me. It was for a Halloween party. I'll get into it, don't worry. And then about 6 months later, last spring, I think I did that sleeve, and it's been, well, since last spring. And so I don't exactly remember much of anything. I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna actually work on this, enjoy voiceover Rachel, and whatever sped up footage happens here. It's not that much. I just have anxiety that I'm gonna run out of yarn and not get it done, or not get a yarn that matches well enough. Anyway, enjoy. Okay, here's what happened. A couple of years ago, we were planning a Halloween party, which is now becoming an annual thing, accidentally. Totally, this is our third year doing it. But anyway, it was a horror movie slasher theme. Now, as I've mentioned, Scream and Ghostface are my ultimate favorites. And so we did the full thing. We had Freddy, we had Jason, we had Michael, we had Chucky, we had Jigsaw, we had Annabelle, like all of them, with Ghostface being the prominent one, especially since Brad and I dressed up as Ghostface, him, and Casey, me, which is Drew Barrymore's character in the very opening scene of the first movie. It was perfect. I had a short blonde bob with bangs, naturally, no wig, nothing required. Here's a picture. I did actually make that sweater because I couldn't find an ivory sweater that I liked. So I just was like, I'll make one, which totally makes sense, right? No. Anyway, but I had seen this doll around, I think first time was Andrea from Wickedly Handmade had made it, and of course she listed the pattern maker, which is done by Danielle on Etsy. She has tons of horror movie characters. At the time I bought this, which has been over 2 years ago, I really honestly thought it was in a bundle, because I bought a bundle, and I thought all of her stuff was in a bundle and you couldn't get them individually. I have just looked at her Etsy shop, and you can get things individually now, so maybe I'm misremembering, or maybe she changed things up, I don't know. Anyway, bottom line is her pattern called for 6-weight blanket yarn and an 8mm hook. I went to the store to get it. No, I went a little feral and grabbed the 7 chunky cozy blanket jumbo yarn and a 20mm hook. Huge mistake, but I am now paying for it, absolutely. So I started it. I got different dye lots accidentally, which is why he has a full robe, because in the pattern he doesn't. You make the doll and then you do the fringe around the bottom to kind of give it that robe look effect. When I realized that I had changed yarns halfway down the bottom and it had different coloring, different tones to it because it was different dye lots, I absolutely had to pivot, my favorite, So I made a robe out of balls of yarn that were all from the same dye lot. So I think underneath he's a different color, but on top it's all from the same dye lot. And then I knew I was going to start running out, so I got very nervous and I quit. I anxiety quit. Plus I was running out of time to get it done before the party when I had to clean and prep for the party that week. I did work on it quite a bit for 2 weeks, but then I had to give up and get ready for the party. So that's why it's been 2 years. I didn't get it ready for the thing I wanted to get ready for, and so it just kind of sat in the corner for the longest time, and I didn't do anything with it. So here I am trying to put the hood on by starting by sewing it on directly to the back of the robe. I had to get my folding table out because it just was not working with him sitting down, but none of this is going to work out in the long run because I didn't make the hood wide enough as I was working on it. And so here it looks like I've disemboweled him. I just pulled apart 2 full balls of the yarn after having gotten that far in the yarn. So that was the big problem. Was I was pretty sure I was going to run out of yarn, and so that's why I quit, because by the time I realized I was going to run out of yarn and got scared about it, I knew I was going to get the same dye lot, and it wasn't going to look right, which upset me, and I let it go for 2 years. I did, continue him. I mentioned at some point that I continued him that spring. 6 months later, I put 1 whole sleeve on, but then I just kind of rage quit again, and I've let it go up until now. And that is the really random reason I've had this giant thing sitting around my house incomplete for the last 2 years. So you will see I will take a short trip here in a few minutes to Michael's because I absolutely did run out of yarn. Unfortunately, this particular brand of yarn is the Loops and Threads Cozy Blanket Jumbo number 7. I have not seen them, and Loops and Threads is also like Michael's in-house brand. I haven't seen this particular brand since then in the last 2 years. I have not seen them sell it under Loops and Threads name. I've only seen it under Bernat blanket yarn. I've also seen a Hobby Lobby version of it, their in-house brand, but not the Michael's in-house brand. So that was another reason I was very nervous, because I knew I was not going to be able to find that yarn again. And I was right. I will have to end up getting another ball of the Bernat Cozy Blanket yarn and finishing off with that. It is not the same. I am sad, but thankfully it's all black and hopefully nobody will look too closely. I tried to hide it as best I could, but I just know that it's there, and it drives me absolutely nuts. But that's the end of my voiceover. I'm going to keep working on this gigantic thing. I did eventually pull the hood off and just do it as a flat panel that I will sew on later. It was just easier than trying to turn the doll over and over and over again to work on the hood as it was attached to the robe. But anyway, I will just let you watch this to some chill music, and I'll be back in a minute to talk about the process some more. So it's been a whole day. I did have to go to Michael's last night, yesterday afternoon, to get another ball of yarn. Now, what I started this whole project with was Loops and Threads, super cozy, chunky blanket yarn or something like that. And I have not seen it in the 2 years since I bought this yarn. It's like they had it that fall, and I've not seen it since. I've only seen the Bernat Cozy Blanket. So that's what this is. It is definitely a different color. And not only that, it's different texture. Oh, first of all, I'm looking at the wrong side. Anyway, it's definitely different texturally too, because this does not slide on this hook very well, but it is a much rougher feel to it. So I'm not enjoying finishing this project with it, but I'm gonna keep plugging along. I hope this is all I need, because I do not want to have to buy more. I'm now up to here on the hood. I'm gonna go ahead and seam this along, so then I know how much more to make down here, and then So his head will go here, or her, and then this will be sewn onto around the neck. See, I've got a bunch of knots on the inside because this stuff is just a pain in the ass to color change on. I'm going to sew this together, and then I'm going to keep working my way down this way until it's big enough to go over the head. So yeah, not going to do a voiceover, just gonna finish this up. Okay, the hood is a little too big, like maybe just one row, maybe two, I don't know. It gapes a lot right here, and I tied it right here and on the other side and at the top and everything, so like it wouldn't slide back, but I think it's still gonna slide around a bit. Problem is, if I want to try to do the fringe on the bottom and the sleeves, I really don't have enough to sew the hood down to the head, and I think that's my best option. So if it's gaping and I don't have enough, I'm gonna take it off, and I'm gonna take a couple of rows out and try again. It's okay. Do it the right way. And I know you're probably like, why aren't you following a pattern? I quit the pattern a long time ago. Just, it wasn't translating to this as much, plus the mistakes with the dye lots. I had to do it all over again. So maybe I've explained that in the voiceover up to this point. I don't know. I haven't made the voiceover yet, so I don't know what I explained. Put off a couple of rows out, put it back on, and then like sew it kind of like down in here around the head so that it doesn't gape. So close yet so far. Okay. Okay. Well, now where's my chair? So, oh God. Yeah. The good news is I don't need to sew it to the head because the hood is now tight enough that it's unless someone pulls it down on purpose, it's not going to just flop around. So that's excellent news. I could have slip stitched it to the robe, but I just sewed it. So it's now 10:50. I should go to bed. It stopped raining. I can walk the dog. I will come back tomorrow and put finishing touches on. I definitely think I have enough to do exactly what I wanted. And this stupid thing will be done. I mean, I still love it, but I can't believe it's taken this long. Actually, I can. I know. I can believe it's taken this long. Yeah, 100%. Okay. Hi. We're back. This is all we have left. And just got to finish up a few little details. And then we're done. After 2 years. Isn't he glorious? Actually, he's not really glorious. He looks more like a toddler who simply does not want to be here. And he's slumping down in his chair. But he has no structure. He's too damn big. But he's gonna sit on my couch downstairs. Doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna start at the bottom of the robe in the back, work my way all the way around, doing slip stitches and picots just to get that, you know, fringy look to it. Nothing too deep. I don't really know. Hopefully I'll make it. I don't know. But I'm not buying any more. So if this doesn't work out, he doesn't get fringe. That's just all there is to it. I got 2 picots on each sleeve. That's literally all I could fit. This is everything that's left. Out of, I literally don't even know how many balls of yarn I used to make this because it's been 2 years since I bought most of them. I would guess in the double digits for sure. I just don't know how many exactly. He's almost done. What would he be without his knife? This is the one that Brad carried when he was Ghostface a couple of years ago. I've dipped it in red paint. Definitely red paint, not anything else. And here's some regular blanket yarn. This is what I was supposed to use. I did not. And I'm just gonna like tie it to his right hand. The original pattern did come with a way to do a knife out of gray and black yarn. I tried it like a couple of years ago, and I was using this yarn, actually, this smaller blanket yarn, and it looked dumb for something so big. Like maybe on the smaller dolls, because like if you use this to make the doll, which is like this big, then you use like a 4-weight yarn to make the knife. So maybe if it were smaller, it would look better, but using this big chunky 6-weight yarn, no. So we're just, since we won't be using this for anything else, I'll just strap this to his hand and he will be complete. There we go. Stand up. Oh my gosh. I have half a mind to go weigh us and see how much he actually weighs. I don't know how much polyfill's in here. I don't know how much yarn this is. It's a lot. This is the end of my chunky yarn profession. I won't be doing this ever again. So I'm gonna go put him in the basement and yeah, I'll be back. And here he is in his final resting place on the basement sofa, on the murder blanket, in a spot made just for him. 2 years later. Why am I like this? We'll never know. And now the corner he's been sitting in for months, longer, I don't know. It's empty. Well, it's not empty. It's got yarn and a boppy in it, but you know, overall, kind of empty. It's nice. Okay, so even though I finished off almost all of the black yarn, just a few little scraps left. This is the white I had left over. Dog hair. I apparently bought way too much of it, and it's just been sitting in my cubby. So I'm gonna finish out this video. I said earlier I was hoping to make like a tiny Ghostface, like with 1 weight yarn and a really tiny hook. I can't do that right now. Maybe I'll make it like a yearly thing. Like next year will be my smallest Ghostface, and the year after that, I don't know, like a 4 weight Ghostface. I don't know. I'm not making it now, but I do want to get rid of the last of this. I just want to cleanse myself of this chunky ass blanket yarn, and so I'm gonna make a ghost, just a really simple amigurumi ghost, and I'm gonna give it to my older niece for Christmas because her mom does ghost tours, is into spooky stuff, and I know she sometimes hangs out with her mom at the haunted places. So that's how I'm gonna close out this video. I won't show you all of it. You don't give a shit. It's like I want to close the chapter on all of this, and this is a great time to do that. So I'll be doing that tonight and get a whole ass Christmas present checked off the list, because before this morning when I thought of this, I was not sure what I was going to get her, but I think this will be perfect. Then I can use this black blanket yarn for the eyes and mouth or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so that's next. I'm not quite done with this 20mm hook, but I'm very freaking close. Okay, it is the next night. I did do most of this last night except for closing off the center and putting the eyes and mouth on. I just got too tired. And then I have been cleaning and prepping all day for our Halloween party tomorrow night, which by the time I actually upload this video, I'm gonna do it Saturday morning, it'll be tonight. So anyway, I've been busy, but it is, well, it's almost done. I just wanted to show you how much I had left. This is all I had left of the white, so very exciting that I used all of it up. Very little waste of this yarn overall, except for the scraps of black. So I just did 24 stitches around. I started with 30, but realized that was probably gonna be too big. And then I did like 5 rows down, and then I did a slip stitch, triple crochet, and then another slip stitch, all in the same stitch every 3rd stitch. So there's 8 of these. And I was going to decrease in the back loop because I did these in the front loop, and I was going to decrease in the back loop instead of making a whole nother piece, but I literally could not find the back loops most of the time. So I gave up, and then I just made a separate piece and then sewed it on, and that's what these parts are. And I'm about to just tie them off, tuck them in, and that's it. I have used up all of this 7 weight, super jumbo, chunky, pain in my butt, cozy blanket yarn. It is done. I wish I could say I was done with weight that big completely and giant hooks, but I still have a very different kind that I might make a pet bed out of actually one of these days, but I can't do it right now because this hurts after everything I've done this week. So he's back upstairs because I am cleaning the basement, and I had to pull the couch cover and that blanket off because they have pet fur on them, and I just brought him back upstairs. Need to take pictures for thumbnail anyway, so, and you know, I'm closing out the video, and this is what I worked on this week along with this. So yeah, this will be for my niece. That is for me. Consequences of my own actions. And that's it. That's it for my Halloween posts, my October posts. It was fun, I suppose. Clementine got a new costume. She might be wearing it for a little while. I don't know. I'm going to get around to making her something else. And I got some decor, and I got some apparel, and I finished a very, very overdue project. And I got a Christmas present done. I mean, it was a pretty productive month, if I do say so myself. So if you are doing anything for Halloween, either this weekend or on Halloween night, please have fun, stay safe, and I will see you in November. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube things, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Is that stuck in there the whole time? Klaus! Dude, get out from behind that.